Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And we're sitting in today. We got a very interesting show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're not following the Dreamers Pro podcast, we have that pinned in the comments. If you want to listen to our full show before it drops on YouTube every day, make sure you check that out and follow and leave a like and a comment. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So this is a pretty interesting one. That came across my table this morning. This morning I was going through the internet and I came across an article on Fadeaway World, and they were referring to basically some things that LeBron James' agent, CEO of Clutch Sports, Rich Paul, had to make on a live broadcast of an NBA playoff game. And essentially they were talking about some things, and I think they were also speaking to Chris Haynes from Yahoo Sports, and I think I've seen him on TNT and other places. And they were talking, and then they got into the future of LeBron James, because I believe he has a player option this season, if I'm not mistaken, and he's looking for a contract extension, or they're in negotiation for a contract extension. I believe he has one more year left on his deal. So as they were talking, Rich Paul, in the midst of what he was saying, then basically, I believe, inadvertently goes out there and spills the beans all over the table by essentially saying, LeBron James is a free agent, and he's not picking up his option or what. And he, and immediately Chris Haynes asked him, "Is like, wait, so LeBron is a free agent, which means that there's a possibility that he could be going to another team." And then Rich Paul goes, "Man, I can't be discussing this stuff on television," which further let us know that he probably didn't mean to say that on live TV. So those are the comments that we want to get into. But before we even get into what he had to say, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select two or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting two entries: Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Rich Paul had to say here on live TV as it pertains to LeBron James's future. And then we're going to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to what Rich Paul had to say here.
And, look, LeBron's a free agent. You have to decide, and I got to focus on his business, and he should be focused on his business, and let the Lakers hire whoever they want to hire. And he's always showed up and played for whatever coach is there, But yeah, I hear you, Bomani, and again, I'm not, there's no need to try to drive a specific narrative or try to dodge anything. It is what it is. I think he's earned the right to have input if he wanted that, obviously, but it's just not the case.
Wow. Now, hold on, Bomani's going to come. Hold on, real quick. You just said something, Rich. You said LeBron's a free agent, so I take it LeBron's going to decline that player option.
Chris, I don't do my business over the
I just heard what you said.
I don't know what he's going to do. We're going to do what we do every year. We're going to evaluate the situation, and we're going to make the best decision.
Right now, So you heard what Rich Paul had to say there. What are my thoughts? First of all, I believe that was probably a mistake. I don't believe that he did that on purpose. I think that was just maybe he got comfortable and he just slipped up and said what he didn't want to say. Now, what does this mean, though, however? Well, I think it means a lot of things. Why? Because the Lakers are in a period right now where they're going to be, where they're going into, they're sort of at a crossroad. Why? Because the Lakers have come to the realization that they're simply not good enough to compete for a championship in the Western Conference. They're not good. And if you're paying attention to these playoffs, it is crystal clear. There are teams that are just a tier above the Lakers. I think that teams right now that we can definitively say are better than the Lakers are the following: the Denver Nuggets, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Dallas Mavericks. The Nuggets beat the Lakers. The Wolves beat the Nuggets. And now the Mavs are getting ready to probably sweep the Wolves. So those teams are at a totally different tier, number one. Number two, these teams are also going to get better next year as well. Because as the Lakers look to improve, so do they. The Lakers were one of the bottom teams in the Western Conference. I think that is really where they are in reality. Forget about what talking heads are saying on television. The fact of the matter is that is who they are. They're at the bottom of the conference. And with that being the reality, the Lakers now have to kind of make a decision on a bunch of things. Number one, who do they want to be their head coach going into the future? Do they want to go out there and get a head coach that's going to be suitable for Anthony Davis as they try to build around him moving into the future? Or are they going to get somebody that, if LeBron did decide to stay, would appease LeBron over the next 2 years? You have that aspect of things. Then you have to look at the story around his son, Bronny James. LeBron has also made it publicly clear in the past that he wants to play with his son for at least 1 year of his NBA career. That's one of his dreams. So with that being the case, would LeBron be willing to go to a team other than the Lakers that are willing to draft him and have him on their roster? I think if the Lakers at this particular moment in time drafted Bronny James, they would be doing it for the sole reason for LeBron James. Because if we look at the Lakers, the current state of affairs of the Lakers in terms of a team, clearly they don't need a 6'1" guard. They would need a bigger guy, a 3-and-D guy that could defend and shoot threes. A 6'1" guard would not be what they need. So if they did that, it would also speak to the level of seriousness that the Lakers have. Are they ready to compete or not? And I think that LeBron is going to be weighing all of these options. I think any team is going to be willing to give him the money that has the cap space to give him the money, right? So for Rich Paul to say that, it means that LeBron may be using that as a bargaining chip, maybe to force the Lakers' hands to do whatever it is that he has in mind, whether that may be drafting his son or getting a particular head coach or getting a particular set of players. No one knows. But that information is very important because all this time, based on all of the reports that we've had, we thought that LeBron wants to stay. And if you listen to some of the arguments, I'll just listen to Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson, I believe it was yesterday, talking about LeBron is building a $100 million property in LA. So why would you want to leave that and blah, 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 blah. Now, to me, I don't understand it because LeBron is going to retire in 1 or 2 years. So even if LeBron left LA, he can always come back and LeBron can always fly back to his house, and LeBron always has the summertime. Rich people have houses all over the world. So I don't necessarily know what that means, right? Like wherever LeBron wanted to stay, if he going to go play for another team, he would probably be staying in one of the best homes that city had to offer. So I don't really know what that means. And number two, I don't think the development of his home is going to be ready right now. Although that's none of my business. I don't care to know. That's his personal business as a man and his how. I don't care about all of that. But you understand the point that I'm trying to make. Nevertheless, I think that was a pretty interesting slip. And I'm very curious to hear what the audience has to say about this. So what I want to know from you guys, do you think LeBron will probably become a free agent, or do you think that, no, this is just a bargaining ploy and that's not going to happen? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.